guys, welcome to or back to my channel. If you've never seen my face before, my name is LenaLuciia, and if you're wondering why I'm outside, I'm actually in Greece right now, so yeah, never mind that. But today I want to show you how to make friendship bracelets, and I know that I'm like almost 20 years old and I should probably not be doing them anymore, but I have been doing them for like 15 years, and each year I whip out my bands, which I'm going to show you in a second. I have a ton, and I don't know, I just love doing them. I just love making them, gifting them to people. It's just a lot of fun. So I figured I might tell you or show you how I do it and what the basics are. So the one-on-ones, how to, you know, do the different knots, how to secure it, how to make a cute little tie so you don't have to knot it around every time, which is really convenient. So yeah, that's what I'm here for. That's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to show you my collection. It's actually insane. So this is all of the bands I have with me, and yes, I took all of them with me on vacation, even though I only had like a travel sized, like a mini suitcase, but I couldn't leave them behind, so yeah, it's quite a lot. So these are all we got. I actually bought some new ones today. I think I bought 5 new ones. But yeah, so without further ado, if you want to know how to achieve a bracelet like that one, ich mache noch ein Close-up, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so I'm going to try to explain this as easy and as simple as I possibly can. So we have a blue string and we have a pink string. We want to do the first knot. So for the first knot, we want to lay the pink string around the blue one, which is called the double right knot. So we basically pull it tight twice to the right side. We always make 2 knots. And as you can see, we're kind of laying the pink string around the blue one in the shape of a 4, which is what we always want to do. We always want to achieve that 4 that you can see right there. So that is it. That's basically how you tie a double right knot. It's just 2 4s in the right direction with the pink string, because we want the pink string to show. Okay, now we're gonna do a double left knot. So basically we still have the 2 strings, pink and blue, but now we want the blue one to show and we want to go in the left direction. So we are yet again making a 4, but this time around we're wrapping the blue string around the pink string and we're pulling it to the left. So now as you can see, the little knot at the top is actually blue. That's what we want to do. So now we're just gonna do it again. We're gonna do the second knot, because we always want to do 2 knots. And as you can see, we do have 2 tiny blue knots right there. But remember, 1 official knot is always 2, so you always want to make it twice. So now what I'm going to show you is the third option, which is a cross right knot, I believe. I'm going to have it on the screen. So basically you want to make the pink string show, and you want to do the first knot to the left and the second knot to the right, as you can see. So you want the pink one to show, but you don't want them to switch places. So basically we started out with the pink right and the blue left, and now we still do have the pink right and the blue left. Now for the 4th knot, which is a cross right knot, we want the blue one to show, but we want the places to be the same. So we're going to do a blue right single knot, and then we're going to switch places. We're going to do the 4 to the other side. We're going to wrap the blue one around the pink one, and we're going to pull the knot tight to the left. So basically what we just did there is essentially the same knot, but the strings have not switched places. So the pink string is still on the right and the blue string is still on the left. And that's really important if you want to do some patterns later on, which I might explain in another video, but that's basically what happens. So now we have 2 right knots, 2 left knots, and 2 single cross knots. So the very first thing you do, which is also probably the most fun part, is choosing the colors. I chose this mint, this cream color, this kind of pinky-ish mauve, and this bright yellow color. After you have all of your colors, you need to measure them so you have the correct length. I actually discovered that if you just hold the string in your fingers and pull it down to your elbow and do that 3 times, so basically 3 times your elbow, that's about the right length. And it's kind of cool that you have your body to measure it, because then you don't have to carry around a ruler everywhere. So yeah, that's what I do now. I just basically do 3 times my elbow and cut 8 strings, twice each color. So now that you have 8 strings in total, 4 colors, twice each color, the length of your elbow times 3 basically, the first thing you want to do is tie a knot. And there's different methods of pinning this whole thing down. You could either, if you're doing it on a table or at a table, you could either just put some tape over it, or like I'm doing here, you can pick a needle and actually push it through maybe your jeans if you're wearing long jeans, or a pillow that you have on your lap, or I don't know, if you're sitting in front of your couch, there's different options, but that's what I'm doing here. So basically I'm pinning it through, then pushing the knot through, and then pinning it through again, just so that way it's really secure and it doesn't really budge at all. And after you've done that, after you've secured your set of strings, you basically start by braiding them. Now, it does depend if you can braid with 4 strings, which is actually not that hard. It's basically just weaving, so it's basically just from left up and down, and then it continues on going. But it is kind of difficult to just hold all 4 strings in your hand. So if you are not able to do that, just separate them into 3 strings and braid as usual. And that part that we're braiding right now is what basically makes the bracelet go over your hand. So it obviously needs to be a little longer, so that way the bracelet can fit over your hand. So this length is about right. I'd say this is like maybe 4 to 5 centimeters or maybe 2 inches. And all you need to do now is make a little knot again, so that way it doesn't open. And you could technically just start doing the proper knots, but it's honestly a lot harder and a lot messier that way. So I now prefer to just make a little knot, so it's easier and less messy. It just looks a bit cleaner. So basically just tie a knot, secure them all. I like to pull on each string, just because that way it has a really neat look, but you really don't need to do that if you don't have the time or the patience, so yeah. So as you can see, I just secured the bracelet further down, because obviously if it doesn't have that much room to wriggle, it's just easier to navigate. So yeah, I just do that a couple of times throughout the whole process, so that way it stays secure. So basically what you want to do now is you have the 4 colors, and obviously since we're doing this arrow shape, you want each color to be on the same spot. So as you can see, there's a red left and a red right, and they meet in the center. So you basically just want to make sure that each color is centered to the other part. So this all sounds so complicated, but you can obviously see what I'm doing. So I'm just putting them in order. So I want them to go from green to yellow to white to pink, so that's what I'm putting them in. So as you can see, you need to just align them like that, and as soon as you're done with that, you can start by actually making the knots. Now remember, you always need to do 2 knots. We're going to start on the left side, so we're going to do a double left knot, which is basically just wrapping the green string, which is the color we want to show, around the yellow string twice. Always do it twice, and just pulling it tight. Now we're just going to put that yellow string aside. We're going to take the next string, which is the cream, and we're going to wrap the green string around the cream string. Wow, that is really confusing. So yeah, we're just going to do that one more time, and then we're going to take the last string, which is the red one or the pink one, and we're going to wrap the green string like I showed you before in that 4 shape around the pink string again. Always do it twice, remember that's really important. So now we're done with the left side, and we're going to go to the right side. Now we're going to do the left side, so we're going to do a double left knot. So we're basically going to wrap the green string, because the green string is what we want to show now, around the yellow string in a 4 shape, or basically the mirrored 4 shape. And we're just going to pull that tight to the left upper side. So we're going to do that again, because remember, always do it twice. Then put the yellow string aside and take cream string or the white string and wrap the green string around the white string. Again, do that twice. And now you can take the last one, which is the pink string, and wrap the green string around the pink string. And now you're basically in the middle, and you have to do the last 2 knots, which is basically combining the green strings. So just tie them around. It really doesn't matter in what direction or what knot you do. You could choose all 4 of them, because obviously they are the same color. So as long as it is neat, and as you can see right there, I'm kind of adjusting things, because especially the first rows are kind of messy and they kind of get wrangled up. So you can always just open them if you do something wrong. And that is your first row all completed. And now, who would have thought you do the same thing for like 1,000 times. So now you have the second color, which in my case is yellow, and now I wrap the yellow around the white string twice, and then the yellow around the pink string twice, and then the yellow around the green string twice. And the only thing you really do need to remember is that the color you want to show in the bracelets does need to be the color that you wrap around. That's really important, because obviously if you're going to do it vice versa, then the green string is going to show even though you need the yellow one. Basically the only thing you really need to remember. But this pattern is really easy because you just do the same 2 knots on every side, so you can't really get lost in the pattern, which is what happens a lot if you do complicated patterns. So yeah, now we're doing 2 left double knots on the right side, again with the white, and then with the pink, and then with the green. And like before, we're now connecting the 2 yellow strings with a double knot in the middle. It does not matter what knot you do, you can decide which side you like best. So as I said, you just repeat this procedure over and over until you're on the first color again. So as you can see, I just finished pink, so now you can already kind of see the pattern that's going on, and that's gonna go on throughout the whole bracelet. And as you can see, back at doing the green color, this is the same pattern that we're doing right now, just with different colors. And yes, I know I said this in all of my crafting related videos before, but 3 is a charm, so I know this takes a long time, and I do know that it kind of gets boring and repetitive at some point, but just remember that you're doing this for somebody who you love and who you appreciate, and you're showing this appreciation and love through a handmade gift, which is one of the best things that you could do. So just put on a podcast, talk to some friends, FaceTime with somebody, watch a YouTube video, maybe watch one of my YouTube videos, and just, yeah, push through it, enjoy the process. Maybe take that time to just slow down a bit and be with yourself, with your thoughts, or yeah, be with friends. So you can do it, I believe in you.
Don't worry, you ain't gotta come to conclusions this early. Don't worry, baby, don't worry. Go and get some sleep while you always in a hurry. You got bigger things planned for you, don't worry. You ain't gotta come to conclusions this early. I'm worried about my father's health. I'm worried about being by myself. I'm worried I ain't doing too well. I'm worried, but I did it to myself, yeah. I'm worried that you don't need me. I'm worried that you'll go and leave me. I'm worried that it won't work out, yeah. I'm worried that I'll never make it out, yeah. Don't worry, baby, don't worry. Go and get some sleep while you always in a hurry. You got bigger things planned for you, don't worry. You ain't gotta come to conclusions this early.
Congratulations, you're almost done. So basically when your bracelet is that long, you can just wrap it around your wrist and see if it actually would fit. So I like them to be quite tight, and I also like them to not go around the whole way, so you also still kind of need space for that knot. So as you can see, the bracelet ends are not exactly touching, but that doesn't really, I kind of like it that way, so I just stopped there. You could technically just make it longer, and also if you want to make that bracelet for somebody who has a bigger wrist, like your dad or your boyfriend, so definitely make them a bit longer. So then at the end, you're just gonna do the same thing that we did before, which is basically a knot to just keep the look consistent. And then we're just going to repeat what we did before. So secure the bracelet and then just braid down and then make one final knot. And now you can just cut off the strings because I like them to be a bit shorter. So now you're all done, and you could basically stop here and just tie it around in a normal knot and just tie it around twice so it stays on. However, I'm actually going to show you how you can make this cute little fastening clasp closure thingy. I honestly don't know the exact perfect word in English, but that's what I'm going to show you how to do now. So usually you do have some leftover strings from your bracelet, so I'm just going to choose 2 of them that I just think are the cutest color, or maybe if you want the clasp to be just white or a very neutral color, you could also just do that, but I just take 2 strings because that way it's a bit more secure. And then you might want to get somebody who holds you the bracelet while you are making that clasp thing, because you basically have to hold it like I'm showing you right now, so that way you can actually wrap that around. So once you get somebody to help you, you basically just put the 2 strings under the bracelet. And then here comes the tricky part. So you make a little loop that goes over. Then you put the other side over the loop on the left side, like I'm showing you right now, and you pull it through on the other side, but make sure that the loop goes under, and then you just pull it tight. So I'm going to show you once more. This is really difficult to explain. So now you can see that little knot on the left side, so that means that you need to do it on the left side now. So put a loop on the left, and then put the other string on the other side over and wrap it through, and then pull it tight. I hope it does make sense when you have it in your hands, but yet again, loop, pull it over, put the left string under and around the bracelet because you want it to be in there basically, pull it through and pull it tight. I do repeat this about maybe 4 to 5 times depending on how big you want it to be, but it really doesn't need to be that big. And you do want to pull it pretty tightly so that way it doesn't open at all. What I also like to do is I like to put just a tiny bit of glue on each side where I basically just secured it, so where the strings end, so that way it really does not open no matter what. And just make sure that while you're letting the glue dry, that you actually move the bracelet around like I'm showing you right now, so that way it doesn't stick to the actual bracelet and you can't open or close it anymore, because that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of this thing. So as soon as you have glued it down, you can just cut it off, and yeah, make sure you don't cut off the whole fastening thing we just created. So here we do have the finished bracelet with our little clasp fastening thing, and I'm just going to show you how to put it on. So you basically pull it open, put it over your hand, wiggle your hand through, and then just pull it shut, which is honestly amazing. I just love this thing. Since I've discovered this clasp closure thing, I don't do anything else to my bracelet just because it's so convenient and so easy. So yeah, this is your bracelet. Have fun with that. Okay, I hope you found this video very helpful and maybe you got some inspiration to make one for your friends or for your family. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye!